demand gen head in a company? Would you rather want an in-house team, or would you want an agency, or maybe both?
No, it's a very good question, and there is no direct yes or no answer to it, but I'll try and answer it based on my experience because
Absolutely.
I've worked on the agency side. I've also in CleverTap, I've worked in-house building campaigns, and then I ultimately brought on an agency as well. So, I think
Yeah.
I've worked enough to sort of try and
Exactly.
answer this question. So
That's the reason I
here's
had
how I
this
would see
question.
it. Right? Yeah, yeah. So here's how I would look at it. Right. First, it all depends on where the company stage is at. Right. Now, if the
Mm-hmm.
company is just growing, you might either if they have the capability to hire somebody in-house, which usually they do because they want to keep lean teams and have
Yeah.
somebody set up everything. Then you might want to go the route of in-house until you have ensured that you have a proper marketing budget in place. But even if you have a marketing budget in place, right, it all depends on what are the trade-offs you get with both. So in my
Yeah.
experience, when you bring on an agency, the benefit you're going to get is continuous and rigorous execution, right? Because this is something that I unfortunately, if you have to scale ahead and look at other things to grow and strategize, you can't be sitting in front of a dashboard executing the campaigns all day, right? Because that will take at least 70 to 80% of your time to ensure that you are not missing out on anything. So you can either bring somebody else internally or have an agency. But the advantage of having an agency there, I would say, is you're not just bringing an agency to execute, right? You're bringing them on as a partner because they have
Yeah.
so many like-minded clients, like-minded employees that
Yeah.
have that experience and can add that value. As if that is happening, then you can definitely look at the agency route, right? But if say you are more concerned with agility or with turnaround times or confidentiality for that matter, right? Because
Yeah.
no matter how good your agency is, how close you are, there are certain things you just cannot give them, right? Whether it is confidential data for customers, revenue, so on and so forth.
Agreed.
So it's a mix of both. So I think the way it is that you should look at what the agency is going to solve and how much of it you want to solve in. It should be a balance of both. I would say ultimately that should be the goal, right? Once you've reached that sweet spot, where you built the core team needed in marketing internally,
Yeah.
and you are at a healthy place in terms of your revenue. You want to look at a balance of both because the agency will definitely help you, but it's not going to replace an in-house team or vice versa. So that's how it has been in my experience, and I've seen a lot of success there because if I've brought in the correct agency that has done it, can take care of it, it takes a big load off my mind, so I can focus on more internal stakeholder management, right? Because
Right.
that's where the next step of growth is going to be. Because if I have to scale, I have to be talking to the other people, whether it's the product
Yes.
marketing teams, whether it is the sales folks, or even the product folks for that matter. They're going to
Yeah.
help me in feeding that information back into my campaigns and to the agency to ensure that we're taking it to the next scale of growth.
Amazing. So basically, when you reach at a certain stage where you have, to an extent, stabilized your go-to-market strategy or marketing strategies, and things are going well, and a certain funnel at least is working out, right? You get an agency as a support system so that you can take the next leap, right? As an individual, as the head of the marketing, you can take the
Yeah.
next leap, and okay, now I can focus on building another set of funnel because we cannot stop scaling, right?
Yeah, because see, I mean, ultimately, right, the company is also going to grow, right, and you are also going to
Yeah.
grow in your career. So
Right.
it's only logical that you can. Some people prefer to bring the agency right out get go, right? But then what
Yeah.
happens over there is you need to ensure that your agency ultimately is not going to replace your decision making, right? You still have to feed them with inputs,
Yes.
give them continuous feedback, and tell them what to do because I don't think having an agency just to hold the fort is going to really work in most cases. It might take you from 0 to 1, but if you want to get past that, you have to treat them like a partner and you have to work with them daily. Like when I was
Agreed.
even with me, right? I ensure that there is some form of communication with me and my agency every day, whether it is a call, a Slack message, or a weekly catch up, whatever it is.
100%.
You just have to have that. You have to carve out some of
100%.
that time. When you do that, right, it leaves less room for mistakes and also ensures that people are on top of things. And plus, it gives you a chance to brainstorm with them as well because ultimately, a lot of clients that they can share learnings from, of course,
Yeah.
based on what they've seen work, what doesn't work,
Yeah.
and you can also bring in your experience and they can learn from you as well.